Alright, so I am going to react to a video today. Now, it is a long video. I believe it's 10 to 15 minutes. And it is from the 1950s. It is a public service announcement. And it details homosexuality. So before we get started, I want to point out that I am a fierce advocate for equal treatment of all people. It is wrong to discriminate against one for their race, religion, sexuality. Consenting adults should be able to do whatever makes them happy. That being said, let's see how this goes. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Sid Davis Productions presents Boys Beware. Produced with cooperation of the Inglewood Police Department and the Inglewood Unified School District. Oh, how lovely. Nice car. It doesn't have very good shocks though. Rocking back and forth like that.
I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division.
He is not
I'm
wearing a
on my way to
seatbelt.
Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people. That looks innocent enough, doesn't it? Lots of young people hitchhike.
It used to
Seems
be.
like a good way to get from one place to another. But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye. Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes.
Of course his
Jimmy
name's
played
Jimmy.
baseball all afternoon, and he didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride.
He stopped in the crosswalk. Just saying.
He'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation. In fact, he seemed like a real nice guy.
Dude ain't wearing a
He asked
seatbelt
Jimmy
either.
if he played baseball in the park often. Jimmy told him they practiced 3 times a week and played a rival group on Friday afternoon. The stranger was a good
wholesome.
listener, too, and it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house. When Jimmy got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat. Then he told him he'd see him again,
Oh.
as he always drove by the park on his way home.
Could that guy look any more creepy? Says me.
Sure enough, the following day, when Jimmy finished playing ball, well, the man was there waiting.
That's just weird. Slides over like that.
They stopped at a
Pastrami.
drive-in, and the stranger treated him to a Coke. During their conversation, he told several off-color jokes, but Jimmy had heard others before, and, well, it made him feel big to so easily win the confidence of an older person. The following Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly.
Yeah. So far, nothing overly
Jimmy hadn't enjoyed
awful.
himself so much in a long time.
I mean, it's a little weird for a grown man
Then
to...
during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures. Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick. A sickness that was not visible like smallpox, but no less dangerous and contagious. A sickness of the mind.
Dangerous.
You see, Ralph was a homosexual.
Oh.
A person who demands an intimate relationship with members of their own sex. But by now, Jimmy felt a fondness for Ralph.
Boys, be careful. When you're out there, make sure you wear your masks to protect against coronavirus, but also homosexuality, because it's contagious like smallpox.
And they continued to go places together. Ralph was generous and took Jimmy many interesting places and did many nice things for him. He bought presents and even gave him money, but payments were expected in return. You see, Jimmy hadn't recognized Ralph's approach soon enough. When Ralph first asked Jimmy to go fishing alone, he should have discussed it with his parents or teacher.
Yes. I agree with that.
Finally, Jimmy told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody of his parents.
Okay, wait. He bought him presents. Gotcha. Gave him money. Gotcha. Took him fishing. Yeah. Showed him pornographic pictures that he just carries in his pocket. Alright. That's creepy, but whatever. He demanded payment as they were walking up to a hotel room. I don't think the crime is he's a homosexual. I think that's child prostitution. Dude's banging an underage kid in exchange for money. Yeah? To all my lovely homosexual friends out there, apparently you're doing it wrong. You're just, having consensual adult time with fellow adults.
But all homosexuals are not passive. Some resort to violence, as in the case of Mike Merrick.
Not all homosexuals will just passively buy child prostitutes. Some
in the
are
heat
aggressive.
Of competition, no one noticed the man who sat and watched. And when the game broke up and the others left, Mike decided to stay and practice a little longer.
Well, with a shot like that, he needs to. Practice, that is.
The stranger joined him. He was friendly and, well, it was better
The
than
way he
playing
kicks that
alone.
leg up.
But after a few shots, Mike realized he had already overstayed his time and suggested he better leave. The stranger told him if he'd like to stay longer, he'd be glad to drive him home when they finished. Sounded great to Mike. Chance to play longer and get a ride home, too.
So this is the aggressive guy who's wearing a bow tie.
When they finished, the stranger told
Somewhat
him he'd make a
handsome.
fine player someday if he got lots of practice.
But the creepy bald guy with sunglasses.
The praise, the friendly attitude dispelled any misgivings Mike might have had about going with
He's
a
the
stranger.
passive one.
He probably never realized until too late that he was riding in the shadow of death.
The
But
shadow
sometime
of
that
death.
evening, Mike Merrick traded his life for a newspaper headline.
Oh shit. Wait. That completely
As Denny and Jerry
changed.
got the papers ready for Jerry's afternoon delivery, they only casually noticed the two boys that raced by in the afternoon traffic, and they didn't pay much attention to the car that drew up shortly afterwards until the man called them over.
Okay, so this dude already, like,
Two boys been by on bicycles? The boys nodded they had.
Forced
Could they recognize them if they saw them again?
the basketball player.
Well, then he guessed he could.
Killed him.
And hop in, the man said. Those are stolen bikes. Without giving it another thought, Denny got in and the car sped away.
That's
Jerry
smart.
watched. He'd been told many times, if a friend got in a car with a stranger,
Smart to
write
not
down
get
the
in.
license
Also,
number. It
oh,
didn't
dude.
seem to apply, but
Extra
well,
smart.
fortunately, he marked it down.
I was just saying that's a smart trick the evil serial killer in a bow tie.
When he delivered a paper to Denny's house, he asked his mother if they'd caught the boys that had stolen the bicycles. Denny hadn't returned, so he told her the story and gave her the paper with the license number.
Good kid.
Being a careful parent, she decided to call the police. Jerry
Yes.
supplied the necessary information, and the stranger's car was quickly spotted. It was a good example of how important it is to always get the license number and description of any stranger who takes a young person off a
Yes.
boat, no matter what they tell you.
See, now you can just take a picture, cell phone picture, but
Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier, but the others preferred to take the more traveled way home.
oh man. This is a little dark.
When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all. After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway.
Yeah.
Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life.
Yeah.
The decision is always yours, and your whole future may depend on making the right one. So no matter where you meet a stranger, be careful if they are too friendly, if they try to win your confidence too quickly, and if they become overly personal. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill. So keep with your group, and don't go off alone with strangers unless you have the permission of your parent or teacher.
Alright, what the fuck? Kids should be careful around strangers. This is actually a pretty good stranger danger PSA, except they keep this serial murderer and rapist is a homosexual. You know, I think the problem is he's a serial killer and he's raping people. Let's focus on that. That's bad. And you know, buying child prostitutes? Yeah, that's the problem. Man. Motherfucker. That's some harsh shit. It is a common, for old fuckers like me, it was common for people to be all homophobic about things, and it was like, well, I mean, what if he hits on me? Number one, I know what you look like. That's probably not going to happen. Number two, if it does happen, perhaps you could try this. Oh, well, thank you for the compliment. I'm not interested. Thank you, though. You know. Yeah, it's sad. It's depressing how good, decent people were treated badly for being different. But, yeah, these fuckers in the video, every last one of them should be fucking lined up and shot. Rape, bad. Serial killering? Bad. Child prostitution? Bad. Yeah. None of that was among consenting adults. So yeah, bad. Anyways, thanks for watching this. I thought it would be light and funny and more humorous than it is. It's kind of sad and depressing and dark. Anyways, treat people decent. If it's not affecting you, grow the fuck up. Leave people alone. Have a great day. And remember, wear a mask or you'll catch the evil disease of homosexuality.